Welcome back. Today I'm at a friend's house, and as you can see behind me, that is a 1970 AAR CUDA. We're going to do a quick rundown of the car, but first, the plan for today is just to figure out the brake system and what parts we need. But let's go through a run through with it real quick. So what this is a 1970 AAR CUDA, original 340 6-pack, 727 transmission, and a 8 3/4 rear end. The car's been driven only once in the last 12 to 14 years, but still in great shape. The interior, show you real quick. This is a factory bench seat and column shift, code 65 on the build sheet. We have the build sheet, I'll show you that in a second. The dash is actually out of a Challenger, so that was changed out, but original carpet and everything's pretty much original. On the inside, the engine over the years has been swapped a few times, not as the complete block and everything, but just parts on it. So I'll show you. It's just a 340 with a, let's see. So as you can see, the 340 does not have the 6-pack on it anymore. He does have a 6-pack in the house for it, but this engine has been gone through a few times, and currently it's about 10-to-1 compression and has a small cam and single plane intake. But really good car. We need to get it roadworthy. He's concerned about the brakes, so we're more than likely just going to replace almost everything. But we're going to go ahead and get the wheels and tires off of it and see what we have to work with here, see what parts we need to order, and go ahead and get that stuff coming. Okay, so in this folder he has everything for the history of the car. The car was purchased in 1975 from another person, so he is the second owner. And as you can see right here under section C, number 65, that means it's a bench seat. So this is the correct seat. Some people were saying in a previous video that it should have buckets, but it's in fact a bench with a little, it's got a fold down center in it.
All right,
so these lug nuts haven't been off in about 12 years. No, how long did you say?
either 84 or 86.
Okay, so the lug nuts haven't been off since the 80s. These tires are, he said, his grandma bought. So need to break them loose before we get it off the ground. And on this driver's side, these are left-handed threads, and looks like we're not going to have any problems getting them off, which is great. So I'm gonna get these off and get the car up on jack stands. All right. We'll put it right under the axle tube. Went ahead and got the car up on jack stands. I have this rear tire off. The other ones are, all the lug nuts are off. We're about to take them off, but I wanted to mention a few other things. The original mileage right there, 24,161. And just another indicator on this driver's side, you have L's on your lug studs indicating left-handed threads, so just remember that so you don't break studs off on the driver's side of your old car. Now coming over here, have the tire off, and we were trying to look for a DOT number because he said his grandma bought these tires in the 80s, and as you can see, they're like 100% tread. And the best we could find was the DOT number here. Doing some research, they really didn't mark them that far back as far as a date. Now 2000 and above, they have like a 4-digit number that has the week and the year that the tires were produced. And this tire is so old I couldn't find anything to match this, so if you guys can maybe do that and do some research, see what you can find. This is a Goodyear Eagle, I believe. Yeah, Goodyear Eagle ST. And as you can see, we're starting to get some dry rot here because they've been sitting on the car for quite a few years. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get the rest of the tires off and start pulling these brakes down. Every single lug nut came off without any trouble, and yeah, everything's going good so far. Here, hold that. I just want to show how easy it is to get these things off. Oh man, not much rust inside at all. It's pretty good. He says these are original. He's rebuilt the cylinders way back in what, 80s maybe. Yeah, actually looks really good.
Either 84 or 86.
It's got good shoes on it for the most part. I mean, that one's down a little bit. Springs all look good, no rust, but probably go ahead and replace this stuff. I'm afraid that if he tries breaking, then the material's gonna come loose from the shoe, being that they're the original. Then up front, a lot of rust up here. You can see the front pad is pretty much gone. Probably 15% pad left. Rotor's gonna be pitted, and I would be afraid if it got any heat in it that it would probably crack. So we're gonna do like the flex lines, new calipers, new pads, new rotors, bearings, grease those up. You know, later down the road, it looks like we have some inner and outer tie rod boots that are busted. And I'm thinking our hard lines are gonna be good, but I'm gonna get him in there, let him pump them up, see if everything holds. Because what would probably happen is if we had a leak, you know, maybe just from age, we got some rust, cause a pinhole there in our hard lines. Then under here, you know, I'm worried about all these seals. This stuff is so old, so I'm sure the seals in the master cylinder are probably going to go soon. So we'll probably just do a master cylinder, see what the fluid looks like there. Actually looks half decent. It's clear fluid, but you can see rust down in the bottom of it, and all that rust is going to go down into the rest of our system. So going to need to make sure we flush this system out completely after we get new parts on it. Okay, so I went ahead and put the master cylinder cover back on, and what I'm going to do is just have Dawn pump the brakes and see if we have any just visual leaks that are obvious. So go ahead, Dawn.
It's not even moving.
Oh, it's pumped up completely?
It's all the way at the top.
Okay, so he's saying that the brakes are completely pumped up, like when the car's off. If there's no leaks, then it's gonna pump up completely and be at the top of its range. So he's saying that's the way it is. So we probably don't have any leaks, which is a good thing, but
It's moving at like a 1/4 inch. You want to see?
no, I trust you. But so what that means, we're just gonna go ahead and get a parts list going. So based on age and stuff, since we don't have any leaks, we'll just replace things that has seals and parts, the rubber parts. So we'll get the hydraulic stuff, seals, all that stuff coming, and rotors and drums. That way we don't have any worries about getting cracks. But looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. So there you can see the torsion bar and our hard brake line. And it looks pretty good up here. Once you get to the center of the car, has a little bit of rust on it. Still looks good. There's no visual leaks. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should we replace these hard lines too? Here's a close look at the driver's drum, and all the springs and everything look good, but that stuff's so cheap. Just gonna go ahead and get those parts that comes as a kit, and you know, our hydraulic parts already talked about. Here's the hard line from the wheel well, the driver's side. Looks nice, and it's greased up a little bit, so that one's not rusty at all like it is underneath the car. Now, that's the same piece, but this section of it's not rusty. Okay, as you can see, we got the wheels and tires back on. We're gonna leave it on jack stands. We have it covered. It's been covered for years. We don't want anybody really knowing it's here. We got like a handful of people that know the car even exists. But there's 2 more videos that I've done 4 years ago of getting the car running. So I'll put a link up in the top right for that. Also in those videos, I might have mentioned it was a TA, which technically they aren't labeled a TA, but here is the VIN plate and also another plate, and as you can see, it says Trans Am. It says it backwards because it's on this side and you can't see it, but it says Trans Am, so it's not marked as a TA, but it's still a Trans Am car because it's an AAR CUDA. And we have our parts list going, and if you guys can think of anything I'm missing, maybe the brake booster. I think the brake booster is going to be fine. Hard lines I think are going to be fine, so we're going to get everything else coming. Probably Mancini racing, maybe source another few places, but not sure. I'm going to look all that stuff up. But I think that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time.